Hey everyone, my name is Anders, and today we are going to go over the updates for Black Desert. First, we want to go over what is currently live for us in global PC. Season has been extended to the end of the year, but the mechanics for the season concept have also changed. Before, we could have a set season spanning 3 to 4 months. Within those dates, you would create a character, you go through your season pass, you graduate, and then you wait for the next season. Now that has all been changed to make a perpetual season, meaning you can create a season character at any time, graduate at any time you wish as well. The only limit to how many season characters you can make seems to be this new season character creation coupon that they've added to the game. You have to use one of these to be able to create a season character and then be able to go through the season pass. You will get these character creation coupons from time to time. They don't tell us how often, but they will not expire. It's most likely the case that there will be login rewards or something similar, so you can store them until you want to use them for making a new character, say whenever a new class releases. The season pass rewards seem to be similar to those of the pass that we currently have, but they are subject to change, it says. In essence, they're doing away with the worry of starting a season too late as a new player. You can start the game whenever you want and still take advantage of the season perks. As a veteran player, this lets you save up your pass for whenever you want to try a new class or new classes release later in the year. You can only have one season character at a time, so you will need to graduate your current character before making a new one, even if you have multiple passes. There is currently no confirmation on what happens if you delete your season character before graduating. It seems to me like your account will be flagged for season creation when you use one of these coupons, and then once you graduate, you'll be able to use the coupon again, so you can delete characters as much as you want before graduating. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know what you think about these changes in the comments. This week we also received the new Region Ulu Kita, the Exalted Land. Currently this area has a new city and 2 new grind zones. City of the Dead requires 310 AP and 380 DP, and Tungrad Ruins requires 320 AP and 410 DP. In this new area, the telescope pieces drop that are needed for the new treasure item Laffy's Telescope. This item lets you teleport yourself to your friends or guild members, and the new Essence of Devour drop here as well, which can be used to create Origin of Dark Hunger, an item to push fail stacks. The problem with these zones is not that they're necessarily difficult to grind despite the high GS requirement. I think a good grinder with at least 289 Kudum AP could grind here more or less, as long as you meet the high accuracy requirements or play a class that has high inherent accuracy rate. The problem is that the silver per hour is not very good. The trash loot value probably needs to be doubled, aggro needs to be improved, or they need to improve drops across the board. You can expect around 200 to 300 million silver an hour, which is incredibly bad for a grind spot needing over 700 GS in 2023. Next week we will be getting a new elite in the Tungrad Ruin zone that will improve silver per hour slightly, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The mechanics in the zones are very similar as well. You want to CC the mage monster to then CC the rest of the pack, and then you unleash the damage. For City of the Dead, it's fairly easy to do since the monsters CC'd by the mage die instantly after falling below 50%. The elite that spawns also has a similar mechanic that allows the monsters to instantly die when they fall below 50%. Tungrad Ruins just gives you a really long duration stun CC once you take down that mage monster, so you can deal back attack damage fairly easily. I think overall DP wouldn't be necessary in these areas, even though they do hit hard, but it's going to depend on your class, of course. The region is set to get a new zone in September, so not too long from now, with a main story and the best in slot shoe storyline as well, so we'll see what they do by then. But for now, this is an easy skip grind spot unless you're trying for the treasure items or need those fail stack items. Awakening Berserker buffs and Awakening Corsair buffs have gone live for us on PC. These were the changes from when they released on the Korean servers. Corsair has a new skill called Engulfing Vortex. It is a 6-second cooldown skill with a partial frontal guard before the attack and a 9% evasion debuff on hits. This is another range skill that can be linked with skills like Open Fire to maintain DPS at range for Corsair. Corsair also received a second new skill called Water Piercing Slash. This replaces the High Spirit skill, which was replaced by the Suppress skill. This new skill can be used on cooldown and again is primarily a ranged skill. Tide Splitter Petrarca has improved to move faster and now links with the newer skills. Wave Breaker Petrarca received a ton of changes as well. It is now a super armor skill. The stiffness CC is now PvE only. Movement distance has been increased while the skill is not on cooldown. It now has an added accuracy buff of 9% on use for 10 seconds, and damage has been increased by 43% in PvE and PvP. Suppress no longer recovers mana mana and instead recovers 60 HP per hit. A critical hit rate buff of 24% has been added to the skill. Open Fire and Ceasefire have been combined into one skill. To do the follow-up attack, you can hold down F and damage remains around the same, a little bit more in PvE. No Mercy Scallywags no longer have the evasion debuff on hits and damage has been increased by 14%. Ocean's Allure now recovers mana and no longer consumes mana on use. It will now vacuum other players on the fog effect. Before that was a PvE only effect. The BSR version of the skill now has a 15% attack speed debuff for 5 seconds on good hits, and damage overall has increased by about 5%. Earthrender Petrarca now has links with more skills using the LMB input. Wave Skedaddle now keeps you in awakening stance on use. Labao will more frequently assist you when your HP is below 50%. Spare No Quarter damage has increased by 28%. Charge now deals 39% more damage. Sun Shielder Petrarca damage has increased by 12%, and Wind Piercer Petrarca now deals 20% more damage. Those other Corsair changes, in a nutshell, they seem fairly good, but we'll see how it feels in practice, especially for PvE. Now moving on to Berserker, Awakening Berserker has a new skill that replaces General Disarray. This new skill is called Flame Chain. It uses the Q input, which means you need to hotkey your Titan Syndrome Awakening buff skill from now on. This new skill is an unprotected movement knockback and floating CC skill that can be used on cooldown. After ground lifting, the linked skills have been changed to activate before movement. Slugfest now has a last hit input change and now deals 12% more damage. Ancient Wave now maintains charging stance when using RMB. You can now rotate according to the camera direction, and the cooldown has been reduced to 15 seconds, down from 20 seconds. Damage has also increased by 30%. Earth Dividing now applies hits equally in PvP and PvE. Split Shot Slow Animation bug has apparently been fixed. Devastation now deals 13% more damage in PvE. Seismic Blast now deals 25% more damage in PvE, and Scatter Shot now deals 17% more damage in PvE. Korea also received the Awakening Lahn and Succession Berserker buffs with minimal changes this week. Succession Berserker was the only one who had a change to remove the PvP damage buff from Beastly Windslash, so now it does the same damage in PvP as before. For Lahn, they show the hidden changes we already knew about and test servers, so nothing really has changed. Infinite Potions are now able to be placed in the family inventory and can now be sold to the market. Currently, prices are increasing, nearing 12 billion silver per piece on North American and European servers, which is surprising considering how many were getting min listed in Korea when this change released a week ago. Let me know if you plan to buy or sell your Infinite Potions down in the comments. Shim Cheong's Miraculous Fish Tank has also been added to our version of the game. If you put this fish in this tank, they will stay fresh 5 times longer. The caught fish are automatically stored, making it a very useful bag for players who enjoy fishing, and this area will be a permanent fixture, so even if you're a new player, you haven't been doing the Ocean Palace event, you can still get this in the future. Heidel Castle will be getting some revamps soon, but we don't know what they are yet, but they have been adding some rooms and some more locations to the Heidel Castle. Node investment has been improved to allow levels to be maintained after you unlink nodes. You can also mass invest energy without swapping characters. There's a couple of updates we have yet to see as well for our servers. Marnie Recharge is the big one for the 11-hour Marnie grind per day. That is not live outside of Korea. I haven't noticed any server issues with the Marnie use on my Korean account, so maybe that more optimization is needed for the servers in NA and EU and other parts of the world, or it may be a Korea only update for now. Similar to the Guild War declaration changes, karma changes, and overall PvP changes that were implemented in Korea to quell the rise of open world new player killing that was becoming a problem there. Maybe the issue is not as bad in other regions, so it may be that again those updates will stay exclusive to Korea. We don't really know, and Perlibis has not said anything about it, so let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think we will eventually get these changes in our versions of the game? That's it for me. Let me know your thoughts on the changes in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Take care.